Alright, we're going to do a TPU phone case here and see how that goes. I'm limited to about 30 MMS3. Well, I have it sliced for a maximum of 30 MMS3 with TPU. So this is 20K acceleration, 300 millimeters a second, 95A TPU. I'm not trying to push it too hard. Kind of need to print this phone case. I haven't printed TPU in probably at least a year. I don't remember much of any of the settings, and I didn't dig around for a previously sliced file in TPU, so I'm kind of winging it at 240, 20 square corner, 30K acceleration, or I mean 20K acceleration. The bed's at 40. Probably still too hot. Probably need to have it at 0 for the bed, but I like to keep the bed always heated. So this is Hatchbox 95A TPU. Obviously in orange, and I'm basically using regular with pressure advances is 0.02. It looks like I could use maybe a little bit more. Pretty close right there. I do get a little stringing. These drives are the smoothest when they run 150 millimeters a second and up. They hum pretty good at 50 millimeters a second because the loop is too tight for 50 anyway. This is 12% fan as a base, and then overhangs are at 30%. This phone does have a few places where there's a bridge. I think there's 3 bridges. One of them is detected properly and the other 2 are not. And it's partially because of the model and partially from the slicer. I don't know what it uses to detect that bridge, but it detects it as an overhang. And TPU really needs support, but not with TPU. So what I'm gathering is that if you need supports in certain areas, you may have to just design a model that's the support. And then once it gets to a certain layer height, you insert that in there and then let it print on top of it. It drops down quite a bit, and I don't know that there's any way to really cure that. Again, I can't apply bridge settings to an overhang or it's going to screw up the rest of the overhangs. So I could try it with a different slicer, but I think it's going to be the same result. It looks like flow is capped here around 27.5. I think in the slicer I have it at 25, so it's going over a little bit. Got the TPU feeding through the regular Bowden tube here, but I don't have it pulling the spool. I'm actually pulling the spool myself. You won't pull it from the filament box. Possible I can make a little bearing spooler spinner, and it could be low enough drag to pull it. But right now I just pull off, 3-4 feet, and then it just sucks it in. Do notice the flow needs to be a little higher than 1.0 anyway. 1.1. So I printed a couple of these already, and so far this one is the best. I was getting quite a bit of stringing and a little bit of blobbing in the corner, and I had to increase my retraction from 0.2 millimeters to 0.6 millimeters, and I'm running a speed of 30 millimeters per second, retract and unretract. That seemed to help big time. Nasty bridge. Overhang. Didn't detect it. There you have it. Quite the chore to get that off. Anyway, seems to be working.